If that book was called Average Expectations, it wouldn't be worth dickens. Average minds don't think alike. They don't think, period. So why settle for average taste when you can have great Pilsner taste? Triple hops brewed Miller Lite. Taste greatness. Miller Brewing Company, Milwaukee, Wisconsin. Great beer, great responsibility. At Miller Lite, we believe if you're not choosing a light beer with more taste, you need to man up, not man down. 'Cause up is way better than down. You don't tell someone sad to cheer down. What's down, dog? A steamy pile and you just stepped in it. Your girlfriend's not wearing a push-down bra. It's called gravity, Isaac Nitwit. Can I be down front with you? All this down talk is bringing me down. So don't man down, man up, and choose a light beer with more taste. Triple hops brewed Miller Lite. Taste greatness. Miller Brewing Company, Milwaukee, Wisconsin. Great beer, great responsibility.
Bridgeport Bluefish baseball is here. The first pitch was outside, 1 ball and no strikes. Beautiful evening setting in from Bridgeport, Connecticut. The 1-0 served foul down the left field line. 1 ball and 1 strike.
Bergamy, the hot hitter versus the Bluefish, really been in check today. Just that leadoff walk in the second inning, went down looking in the third with a couple runners on.
Next pitch is upstairs. 2 balls and 1 strike.
To put it in perspective, this season against the Fish, 11 for 24, nearly 500, 6 RBIs, 4 extra base hits, 10 walks.
The 2-1 lifted foul to the left side. 2 balls, 2 strikes.
Just manhandled the Bluefish. A career 300 hitter against the Fish.
He started out his Atlantic League career in Newark, of all places, and went to Camden and has been hitting very well there. The 2-2 is upstairs, 3 balls, 2 strikes.
Now in his 4th season with the Riversharks, was a 2010 All-Star, batted .307 with 15 homers, 85 ribbies.
The 3-2 on its way from Remar Diaz. He lifts his leg and fires. A high pop to the left side. Luis Rodriguez racing after it. He cannot get there, and neither can Luis Lopez. The ball falls on the awning of the dugout.
Just a scrum for that foul ball. Kids were diving over the railings, almost like a pile-on.
There will be plenty of pile-ons if the Bluefish win an Atlantic League championship, and of course if football season comes around, and it's not too far away. It's already June. 3-2 is fouled at the plate. 3 balls, 2 strikes. Bluefish baseball will be here all summer long. Bridgeport leading 7-1. A 5-run outburst in the 4th. 3-2 on its way from Diaz. Bergamy waggles the bat back and forth. The next pitch, fastball away and high for ball 4. Taking his base for the 2nd time is the first baseman.
Bergamy did a good job working that walk. Diaz didn't want any part of him, and you see a little consistency here with Bergamy leading off innings. Walk both times.
Brings up Matera, who's 0 for 2. Right-handed batter waggling the bat up top. The first pitch lands high, 1 ball and no strikes.
Here it is, Perry. Need to be careful watching Diaz if you are the staff for the Bluefish. I know 7-1 lead, pretty comfortable, but he's been starting to miss up high.
When he gets tired, he usually puts the ball down. Pitch grounded towards third. Handle on the backhand by Lopez. He throws to second, and the throw to first is not in time. The throw to second just beat the runner. That was a close play at second, and the runner was ruled out. Bergamy objected, he will not win that argument. Ron Karkovice, who is the bench coach for the Riversharks and is also the hitting coach, the bench coach rather, for the Riversharks, and also acts as a secondary pitching coach because he was a catcher back in the day, objected a little bit, but Burgundy was ruled out. The next pitch, off-speed pitch low, 1 ball and no strikes. If you have any questions, comments, or concerns about the Bluefish broadcast, you can send me an email to perrym86@gmail.com. perrym86@gmail.com. The 1-0 is lined toward left center field. It drops in front of Simmons, who charges in. It is a base hit. Runners at first and second for the Riversharks to set up Stephen Deach.
Deach on the day, 0 for 2 with a K, a ground out to Rogers at short. But with 2 runners on, a big spot for Camden if they want to get back into this game.
Bridgeport hoping that they are able to overcome these circumstances. Another offering is on its way from the right-hander Diaz. It lands outside, 1 ball and no strikes. One other player that is not on the ball club for the Riversharks, other than the other names we mentioned, Colin Roberson, the former Bluefish player, no longer with the team from South Jersey. The 1-0. Fastball lands low, 2-0. A 7-1 ball game. 2 runs scored in the third, 5 more in the fourth. The Riversharks scored their only run in the third. It was an unearned run. The 2-0. Fastball right down the outside corner. 2-1.
Great location for Diaz on that pitch. Seems to be getting a little tiresome. Found it, reared back, and threw a great pitch. Needs another repeat effort there, maybe with Deach swinging away. That's going to induce a ground ball.
2-1. Waved that for a strike. 2 balls and 2 strikes.
Missed his spot there, Perry. That one got hung up a little high, but fooled Deach enough.
Raymar Diaz was throwing in the 90s during winter ball. He may be able to regain some of that velocity as time moves forward. The 2-2 lands low, 3-2. He was even clocked in winter ball at 97 miles an hour, which may or may not be true. He at least said he was clocked at points at 97.
When you're standing at 6'8", anything is possible with that big frame.
He threw that same velocity in Florida State League baseball, which is the highest level of baseball he has reached.
We're talking about a pitcher that came in and won 10 games and lost 1 for the Fish last year.
Another foul ball sent to the right side. 3 balls, 2 strikes.
And not only that, won his first 6 decisions last season. This is like the tale of 2 cities.
You're going biblical, or you're going with a book? Tale of 2 Cities? Who's the author of that? Robert Louis Stevenson. The 3-2 is chopped on the ground towards short. Charging forward and scooping on the move, Eddie Rogers. The throw is not in time as Peterson could not dig it out of the dirt. It is an infield single for Stephen Deach. Bases are loaded with 1 man out for Jake Agassi. Robert Louis Stevenson, correct?
I don't know, Perry. I don't know. You can't question me on that. My knowledge is just so limited.
Oh, don't limit yourself. Come on. You're a more intelligent guy. You've taught me quite a few things in the broadcast this year. Willie Upshaw goes to the mound.
I appreciate that, Perry. And, of course, same goes your way. The veteran teaching me a thing or two about a thing or two.
The veteran of the Bluefish staff, manager Willie Upshaw, walking to the hill to talk with Diaz, probably to tell him, your stuff's been great today. Just continue. You just got a bad break on a long hop. don't leave the pitch up to Jake Agassi, who damaged the Bluefish earlier in the year.
Rogers actually made a heck of a play at shortstop just to pick that clean and come up with a nice throw. Coming across his body, it looked like he was going to fall flat face first and was able to get it over to Peterson in plenty of time, but just couldn't really handle that throw.
Falling face first into the dirt cannot be a fun experience. Just a thought. One man out. Diaz ready. As Agassi takes a first pitch strike on the inside corner, 0-1.
Haven't seen Diaz throw that pitch in a while. It's been a lot of fastballs, especially to the outside part of the plate for the right-handed hitter. And Agassi saw a curveball dipping in on the inside quarter.
The 0-1. Off speed, away, 1-1. Bridgeport hoping to turn a double play in the fifth, or rather the sixth, to escape further trouble and give Diaz an opportunity to his first quality start of the year. 1-1. Inside, 2 balls and 1 strike. There are some out there who feel that a quality start is overrated. But when you consider what Diaz has done this year, quality start may even be a resounding improvement or performance. The 2-1. Fastball on the inside edge, 2-2.
It's like you're saying, what qualifies a quality start in the mind of the player, in the mind of the team, in the mind of the manager? Simply because it might not be a quality start where you put it in the stat column doesn't mean that it wasn't effective in their own way.
2 balls, 2 strikes, 1 man out. Next offering on the outside corner, called strike 3. Agassi staring at it. He continues to bark at David Mills. He did not get the call he wanted. He goes back to the dugout disappointed with 2 away. It sets up the catcher, Scott Krenezik.
Willie Upshaw is going to give Diaz a chance to complete this inning. If Krenezik gets on, we will see Kyle Zaleski, who has been getting warm in the bullpen.
2-out pitch, dribble to the first base side. It goes foul at the very last moment. It stayed in fair ground for about 80 of the 90 feet from home to first, and may have hit a patch of dirt to drive it to the right.
Thought it was going to turn a lot sooner than it did. It hung on for a while. Peterson a little late reacting to the ball, couldn't quite make it in time.
No balls, 1 strike, top of the 6th inning with 2 men out. The bases are loaded with Matera at third. The 0-1 fouled right off the mask. No balls and 2 strikes.
Funny sound off that bat. Might have cracked it just a little bit.
Drew Macias is at second. Stephen Deach is at first. Will Diaz throw 6 innings of no earned run baseball? The 0-2 waved that for strike 3. Nazik lunged at it. 2 strikeouts to end the thread. A great performance for Raymar Diaz, if that was his final batter of the day. 6 innings, no earned runs, 6 hits. End of 5.5. Bridgeport leading 7-1. You're listening to Bluefish Baseball on the Bluefish Broadcast Network.
Why do we love baseball? Is it the uniforms, the pace of the game, the mascots? Could be. Or could it be that what we really love is that baseball reminds us how we can all come out ahead when we work together, just like a good team? At Prudential Annuities, we understand that when everyone works together, good things can happen. That's why each year we uphold a commitment to helping charitable causes in our community by pitching in financial resources and by enabling Prudential Annuities employees to help others through volunteer work. From conducting mentoring programs and helping homeless shelters to supporting health awareness and food banks, Prudential Annuities is more than a big company in Fairfield County. We're a big part of the community, too. Prudential Annuities, going to bat for the community. The Prudential Insurance Company of America, Newark, New Jersey, and its affiliates. Prudential Annuities is a business of Prudential Financial, Inc.
A sizzling, succulent filet mignon, scrumptious salmon Florentine, savory twin grilled pork chops. Getting hungry? Your table awaits at the Park City Grill, Fairfield County's elegant new dining spot in the beautifully renovated Bridgeport Holiday Inn. Comfortable, warm, and inviting, Park City Grill offers a world-class dining experience at reasonable prices. Come to the Park City Grill, 1070 Main Street in the Bridgeport Holiday Inn. Take I-95 exit 27A to exit 2. Plenty of free, secure parking.
If I die young, bury me in satin, lay me down on a bed of roses, sink me in the river at dawn.
Jeff Farnsworth is on the hill for the Riversharks in the bottom half of inning number 6. Second inning of work. The Bluefish right now sinking the Riversharks at 7-1.
The Battle of the Sea going to the Bluefish.
Exactly. Camden located on the river. Bridgeport located close to the Sound. You could see the Sound within the distance. One player who's had a sound day is James Simmons. He is 1 for 2 with a couple of runs scored. The first pitch on its way from the right-hander Farnsworth, and he sends it low, 1 ball and no strikes.
Simmons has been very active in the cage, personally one-on-one with Willie Upshaw, really trying to turn his fortune.
1-0. Laser beam sent to right field. It is a base hit. Second opposite field stroke from James Simmons. Runner at first for Pedro Lopez.
We find that so often, Perry, when a hitter is really hitting the ball well, wherever it's pitched, they're putting it to that side. If it's on the outside half, they're hitting it to the opposite side of the field, period. And what comes from that is the fact that they're getting on top of the ball. They're getting their timing down. The pulls will start coming. The shots to center field naturally will take itself into play.
The next offering upcoming from the right-hander Farnsworth, and he connects the pitch with the outside corner. No balls and 1 strike. Pedro Lopez, an RBI single to right center field and a sacrifice, so he is 1 for 1. The 0-1 from Farnsworth. Outside. 1 ball and 1 strike. The trivia question for today: which member of the Bluefish current pitching staff played a position, and what position was it? The 1-1 is low, 2 balls and 1 strike. Would you know what the answer is to this trivia question?
Well, since we did not discuss the answers in between innings, my guess is Matt Pike.
It was Matt Pike.
And my guess is he played the outfield. I'm not sure which position. I'm guessing a corner outfield.
You're correct on that. Specifically, it was right field. The 2-1, low and away, 3 balls and 1 strike. The story behind it was the Camden players were telling Matt Pike to go back to the bullpen. They were not happy that Pike was showing up the rest of their outfielders with his strong arm. Of course, it was in the heat of competition rather than a malicious jab.
And I can see Matt Pike feeding off of that and just using it as more steam and motivation to really show up the Riversharks as a whole.
3-1 on its way. Throw to first. Not in time. Quick tag as the ball went right toward the leg of Simmons. He is a stolen base threat. One of only really a couple on this team that could steal the base. Simmons can fly. 3-1 from the righty. Runner goes. Pitch. Outside corner. Strike to throw to second. Not in time. It was kneed off of Simmons into left center field. The shortstop gathers as Agassi has to control. It is a stolen base, and I believe it's going to be an error to either the catcher or the second baseman, Matera, I believe could not get the ball there, and that ball was well away from the second baseman. I believe that's going to the catcher. Runner on third base with nobody out. A long fly scores a run.
Or your favorite, a sacrifice bunt placed correctly.
3-2 inside ball four. There was no way they were going to allow Pedro Lopez to get anything to swing at, even if Lopez had to go 3 feet outside the zone to do it. They're hoping for the double play, make it 8-1, make the pitching line look a little bit more respectable.
Pedro Lopez taking his 26th walk of the season. You take a look at the top 4 base on ball leaders throughout the league. They're all in this game, 3 of them on the Bluefish.
There are times that these games, the Camden Bluefish games, will take longer than expected because of the point you brought up, taking all those pitches, working those walks. Next one is stroked into left field, a base hit by Kennard Jones. 5 RBI on the day for Jones. The Bluefish lead 8-1. Every RBI for him has been to the opposite field. 2 singles and a triple. It is a season high for Jones. Here comes Eddie Rogers, who already has a 2-run home run on the day. James Simmons came to the plate with Pedro Lopez standing at second. The next toss, foul tipped into the glove. No balls, 1 strike.
Not to mention that matches his season high with hits in a game, 3. His 5th time doing that, tying Brock Peterson for the team lead with 3 hit games.
Kennard Jones leads the team in multiple hit games as well. 0-1 is popped up to the right side of the infield. Infield fly rules in effect. The batter is automatically out as the catch is converted by the second baseman, Patty Matera. P4 on the score sheet to bring up Prentice Redmond, who's 0 for 3.
In an 8-1 game, you wouldn't think this is much of a big spot for Prentice Redmond, but the way that he's been hitting the ball at the plate, his approach, it's just all been a little bit off. And this couldn't be a more critical bat for his psyche.
1 man out, righty-righty situation. Set up his outside pitch. Flows away, 1 ball and no strikes.
And you wonder as well, Perry, there's no more action in the Bluefish bullpen. If somebody was going to come in for Diaz, they'd probably still try to get warm.
The next pitch on the outside corner, a called strike.
So with Diaz pitching so well, my guess is he got out of that inning himself with those 2 strikeouts, came back in. Willie Upshaw said, "What do you think, son? I'm ready."
The right-hander deals. Pitch outside, 2 balls and 1 strike. He allows his pitchers to continue on. Willie Upshaw has the utmost confidence in certain pitchers, but up until tonight, there was not a whole lot of optimism when it came down to Upshaw and Diaz. Tonight may have changed Upshaw's mind, and it may kickstart a string of successful outings for the right-handed pitcher. Just what the Bluefish needed at this time. The 2-1, fastball away, 3 balls and 1 strike. And Jonah Bayless, who's been very good for the Fish in the bullpen over long stretches of time, is going to be able to stretch out even longer. It seemed earlier in the year, I asked him this question. He lasted 2 2/3, 3 innings. I asked him, would he start? The 3-1 is lifted foul, right side, 3 balls and 2 strikes. He chuckled twofold. He felt like he was a bullpen pitcher who could go long or short, who could be a closer because that's what he was for the Barnstormers last year, and a very good one at that. And two, he had never really stretched himself to throw 70, 80, 90 pitches in a game. The 3-2 is outside ball 4. Tomorrow he may be asked to do that. Prentice Redmond walks to spring Brock Peterson into motion to the batter's box. Peterson is 0 for 3. Go figure this one out. The Bluefish 3 and 4 hitters. You take into account Redmond, Peterson, and Lopez. They are 0 for 8 with 2 walks and 3 strikeouts, and the Bluefish are winning by 7. How often do you see that? Pitch is lifted in the air toward left field, giving chase. The corner outfielder Chris Walker makes the play for out number 2, but that leads to a sacrifice fly and an RBI for Brock. The Bluefish have a 9-1 lead.
Something positive from that 3-4-5, an RBI. A run scored from Louis Lopez. He actually started that 4th inning, 5-run inning with that leadoff walk.
It's been the Kennard Jones show today on offense and the Raymar Diaz show on the mound. Not much more you can say about this game other than the fact that the Bluefish made the Riversharks look small tonight. Camden had been coming in flying. 2-out tosses inside, 1 ball and no strikes. They had won a series in Southern Maryland the same way that the Bluefish had earlier in the year, 3 out of 4. Before the Bluefish lost their last set against a team from Waldorf. The 1-0 curveball just low, may have been a tad outside. 2-0.
Lopez just seems so calm, cool, and collected every time at the dish. It seems like he doesn't want to swing the bat. And then all of a sudden when he whips it around, he gets it through the zone so quickly that he does damage.
None of the pitchers seem to want to throw to him. The fastball is upstairs, 3-0 with a base open. You walk Lopez. Louis Rodriguez has been hitting the cover off the ball.
2 outs, there's no reason to try to worry about anything else but the batter. Don't really want to put him on.
3-0, he did. Ball 4. Upstairs, Luis Lopez walks for the 2nd time in the game. Talk about Kennard Jones and how great he's been today. Louis Rodriguez came in with the 2nd highest batting average with a minimum of 80 at-bats on this team to Kennard Jones. And with the 1 for 3 so far, he's improved that mark.
292, like you said, and it hadn't been like that. He was struggling early in the season, really could not hit the ball.
He was at 200, 210. He was scuffling at the plate, and then something clicked. The 2-out toss, fastball on the outside edge, no balls, 1 strike. If he continues at this pace, he will be an all-star regardless, because J.R. House and Christian Lopez, 2 catchers who hit very well last year, were the all-stars in the Atlantic League's Liberty Division. The next pitch is sent foul, no balls and 2 strikes. If you hit well, you'll make it. If your pitching staff as a unit hits well, you'll also make it. Last year, Rodriguez and the pitching staff in the first half not quite as well as it did in the second half. He was not hitting as well either.
Well, you can credit the increase to hitting safely 13 of his last 27 at-bats.
The 0-2 sent outside. Rodriguez bluffed swinging. 1 ball, 2 strikes. 9-12 on the East Coast. We're coming up to the 7th inning, And in the 7th, we will update you one more time on the Atlantic League scoreboard, as well as the Major League updates as the pitch is grounded down the first base side, but just went foul. It looked like the similar play to the one that Camden had, where it dribbled 80 feet up the line and then veered foul at the last moment. That time it was a little bit more velocity to the baseball. There was no chance for Bergamy to get there. Came within inches of becoming another couple of runs going on the board for the Fish.
Rodriguez started going down the line and kind of crouched over like he was trying to push that ball back fair.
The 1-2. A high pop down the right side. Bergamy has no shot at this one. 1 ball, 2 strikes. You evoked the emotion through your words. He was trying to guide it fair. But the only thing that really has control of that is Mother Nature.
Or some would say the baseball gods.
There is some belief in that.
Rodriguez has had plenty of love from those baseball gods with the years that he's played professionally.
1-2. Swung on and missed. Strike 3. To think that a player is still playing professional baseball after starting his professional career in 1991 is remarkable. End of 6 after 2 more runs crossed the plate and 3 runners left on. The Bluefish own a 9-1 lead. You're listening to Perry Miles on BridgeportBluefish.com. We'll be right back after these words from our local sponsors. Stay tuned.
Miller Lite, we believe if you're not choosing a light beer with more taste, you need to man up, not man down. Because up is way better than down. You don't tell someone sad to cheer down. What's down, dog? A steamy pile and you just stepped in it. Your girlfriend's not wearing a push-down bra? It's called gravity, Isaac Nitwit. Can I be down front with you? All this down talk is bringing me down. So don't man down, man up, and choose a light beer with more taste. Triple hops brewed Miller Lite. Taste greatness. Miller Brewing Company, Milwaukee, Wisconsin. Great beer, great responsibility. At Miller Lite, we believe that sharing a pitcher of our great-tasting draft beer will bring friends together for a good time. And good is way better than bad. No one reminisces about the bad old days. If your guess is as bad as mine, then we're a couple of idiot faces. So far, so bad? Turn that frown upside down, grumpy pants. So why have a bad time when you could have a good time with a pitcher of Miller Lite draft beer? Triple hops brewed Miller Lite. Taste greatness. Miller Brewing Company, Milwaukee, Wisconsin. Great beer, great responsibility. At Miller Lite, we know there's only one thing baseball fans love as much as great Pilsner taste, and that's rooting for the home team. Because home is way better than away. Away is not where the heart is. Bringing away the bacon? Why? Bacon is delicious. Away is where you hang your hat? You should be hung up by your underpanties. So why root for the away team when you can root for the home team? With a great Pilsner taste of Miller Lite. Triple hops brewed Miller Lite. Taste greatness. Miller Brewing Company, Milwaukee, Wisconsin. Great beer, great responsibility.
Shark tooth, screwdriver, golf tee from the golf trip that you never went golfing on, grill fork, tuning fork, fork, drumsticks, a motel key. Let's not talk about the motel key. Needle nose pliers, a spark plug, a domino, a house key. There's lots of things you can use to open the new Miller Lite Punch Top can, but you'll always get the same thing, a smooth pour with less glug. However you punch it, it's Miller time. Miller Brewing Company, Milwaukee, Wisconsin. Great beer, great responsibility.
Bridgeport Bluefish baseball is back on the air. Perry Miles with R.J. Garcia, the top of the 7th inning. Leads off with a grounder to second. Pedro Lopez gobbles it up and throws to first. 1 away.
Diaz, who we had thought might be done after last inning, was able to escape with those 2 strikeouts with the bases loaded. Earned himself a 7th inning, and it's really been a stellar start so far. That was his 97th pitch of the evening.
He may complete 7 innings or maybe even go longer than that just to build up his arm strength a little bit more, because he really has not gone this successfully this deep into a game. The 1-out toss is on the inside corner. No balls and 1 strike. This is his longest outing of the year.
Really looking on point with his pitches. Commanding the zone. The fastball's looking sharp. The curveball's biting hard.
The 0-1. Inside corner strike. No balls and 2 strikes. That was wicked changeup.
Another nasty off-speed offering by Diaz. Just looking so comfortable up there.
The 0-2. Inside corner, strike 3. Emotion shown by Lloyd Turner. He is irked. He dropped the bat, showed up the umpire, David Mills. He's been calling that pitch all night on the inside corner and not necessarily on the outside corner.
Third baseman number 8, Marquez Smith.
And remember, Perry, this is the 4th time each of these batters are starting to see Diaz.
2-out pitch, a high drive towards the left of center field where James Simmons makes the play. The captain of the outfield records the final out of the frame. Perhaps the most efficient inning for the right-hander yet. He finished in single-digit pitches in the frame. 7th inning stretch time, 9-1 the score. You're listening to Perry Miles and R.J. Garcia on BridgeportBluefish.com.
Jimmy Rollins talks about the Baseball Hall of Fame.
Just being in the same place that all these great ball players, reside at now, their career. You go find their stats, their jerseys, their helmets, their cleats, and to have something of mine, that is something that anybody that goes to the Hall of Fame can see.
Preserving history, honoring excellence, connecting generations. At the National Baseball Hall of Fame and Museum in Cooperstown, New York. Connect with Cooperstown at baseballhall.org. Jimmy Rollins talks about the Baseball Hall of Fame.
Just being in the same place that all these great ball players, reside at now, their career. You go find their stats, their jerseys, their helmets, their cleats, and to have something of mine, that is something that anybody that goes to the Hall of Fame can see.
Preserving history, honoring excellence, connecting generations. At the National Baseball Hall of Fame and Museum in Cooperstown, New York. Connect with Cooperstown at baseballhall.org.
Why do we love baseball? Is it the uniforms, the pace of the game, the mascots? Could be. Or could it be that what we really love is that baseball reminds us how we can all come out ahead when we work together, just like a good team? At Prudential Annuities, we understand that when everyone works together, good things can happen. That's why each year, we uphold a commitment to helping charitable causes in our community by pitching in financial resources and by enabling Prudential Annuities employees to help others through volunteer work. From conducting mentoring programs and helping homeless shelters to supporting health awareness and food banks, Prudential Annuities is more than a big company in Fairfield County. We're a big part of the community, too. Prudential Annuities, going to bat for the community.
The Prudential Insurance Company of America, Newark, New Jersey, and its affiliates. Prudential Annuities is a business of Prudential Financial, Inc.
Bridgeport Bluefish baseball returns from the ballpark at Harbor Yard. The Bluefish lead by a score of 9-1 as the first batter of the frame is Elliot Ayala, followed by James Simmons and Pedro Lopez. We'll give you a scoreboard update from the Atlantic League and the big leagues at the same time. The first pitch is on the outside corner from Mariano Gomez. No balls, 1 strike. This call to the bullpen, presented by Prudential Annuities. Prudential Annuities going to bat for our community. Gomez ready to deliver the 0-1. Fastball sent foul to the right. No balls and 2 strikes. Gomez, 1 win this year, an ERA at north of 5. 12 1/3 innings pitched, 7 earned runs, and opponents hitting .271 against the southpaw. Bluefish leading 9-1 as Gomez stands tall. Glove there, the 0-2. Fastball inside, could not be scooped up by Knezic.
This has been the part of the lineup doing most of the damage for the Bluefish. Just getting on and letting those big bats take over. 6 of the 9 runs have come from the bottom 3 spots, starting with Ayala here.
The 1-2 on its way from Gomez. Slap foul to the right. 1 ball, 2 strikes. The scores from around the Atlantic League. The Southern Maryland Blue Crabs lead the York Revolution 10-2. So with a Bluefish victory, in all likelihood tonight, they would not make up any ground on Southern Maryland. But if Lancaster holds on, the Bluefish will make up ground on Long Island. The 1-2 chopped on the ground foul to the first base side. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Lancaster has a 5-2 lead in the top of the 8th against Long Island. The Freedom Division matchup, Sugarland right now leading Somerset 2-1 from Houston, Texas.
But as much as the rest of the Atlantic League and their scores matter in the long term, getting a win for the Bluefish is by far the most important thing that they're looking for.
Correct. 1-2 inside, 2 balls, 2 strikes. If you do not win, you have no chance of catching any of those teams.
And they haven't won in 5 straight games. This has been well overdue. They just need to hold on here for 6 more outs.
Next pitch to Ayala on the inside corner, strike 3. He's been calling that all night. The player's frustrated with the zone, but it has not changed at all. He's been consistent all night. A good game and a good plan by David Mills.
I agree. Couldn't be happier with a home plate umpire and the consistency it's been. Everybody's walked away upset at that looking strike 3 call.
Everybody has, but it's been the same way for each hitter. And the outside pitches, which appear to be on the corner, are getting called balls. He's been doing it all night. The 1-out pitch, waved at for a strike as the pitch dove low and in. No balls, 1 strike. Let's take a look at the scores from around the majors. There is a big matchup tonight featuring the Stanley Cup, and it appears as if the LA Kings want nothing to do with the Game 7 as the pitch is inside, 1 ball and 1 strike. The LA Kings have been smashing up the New Jersey Devils. It is 4-0, courtesy of a major penalty which resulted in 3 power play goals during that 5-minute major, which ultimately threw Steve Bernier out of the game. The 1-1 lifted foul to the right, 1 ball and 2 strikes. If you commit a stupid penalty just the way that you would make a mental mistake on the base paths, it could cost your team the game, and it has at least done that for the time being for the New Jersey Devils. They would need to come back from 4 goals down. The NBA Finals start tomorrow with the Oklahoma City Thunder hosting the Miami Heat. The 1-2 is swung on and missed. Strike 3, 2 consecutive strikeouts from Mariano Gomez to bring up Pedro Lopez. In Major League Baseball, the Yankees lead the Atlanta Braves 3-0 in the middle of the 7th. Their pitching has been awesome over the last few weeks, which has propelled them towards the top of the standings in the American League East. Boston trailing Miami 4-1 from the new ballpark. Yankees trailing the Rays by a half a game as the pitch is on the outside edge. No balls and 1 strike. With a victory tonight, the Yankees would tie the Rays for first place. It has been quite some time. They had been battling uphill all year. And Bridgeport, they started off well. Now they're going to have to battle uphill for much of the rest of the first half.
This has any indication, then the climb has started.
The 0-1, heater away, 1 ball, 1 strike. In NCAA baseball, South Carolina beats Oklahoma 5-1. And the College World Series coming up very soon, only a few hours west of Bridgeport, Connecticut. Just a few. Next pitch is outside, 2 balls and 1 strike. That's by plane, of course. Taking place in the Midwest. 2 balls, 1 strike. Arkansas and Baylor in a scoreless game, bottom of the 8th, and Oregon 2 and Kent State 2 as the pitch is on the outside corner, 2-2.
Backdoor breaking ball by Gomez. Got ahead on the first two batters. Resulted in K's, one looking, one swinging. Lopez battling a bit. Now it's a 2-2 count with 2 outs.
One more update for those out there. The 2-2 is inside as it juts low. 3 balls, 2 strikes. Rafael Nadal wins the French Open as the match was continued today after a series of rain delays leads to a postponement. The match was continued today. Nadal wins his 7th French, which matches Bjorn Borg. The 3-2. Line, base hit, left field. Lopez is on for the 3rd time today. He is 2 for 2 with a walk.
Would be nice to get his bat going. Obviously, it has done that today. Someone, especially at the bottom of the order, Willie Upshaw's been up and down with Pedro Lopez, trying to figure out exactly where he fits in best with the lineup. Maybe found himself a spot in the 9th hole.
Kennard Jones has had a career RBI day for the Fish. 5 ribbies. But this is the first time that he's going to have to take on a left-handed pitcher. Mariano Gomez, the 3rd pitcher of the night for the Riversharks.
Kennard Jones still batting over 300 against lefties.
Pitch is inside, 1 ball and no strikes.
304 to be exact, couple of doubles.
That average has been dipping a little bit, though, because he's not been hitting of late as well as what he was earlier in the year. The next pitch swung on and missed. 1 ball, 1 strike. He seems to have turned a little bit of a corner, though, in this game with the 3 base hits, including a triple.
Speaking to him yesterday after the game, he was pretty down and out, just as the whole team was, about losing 5 straight, and he was still positive. Something's got to give. Something's got to change.
1-1 away, 2 balls and 1 strike.
The funny part is he was kind of indicating his walk-up music that he needed to change a little bit and find a different groove and flow, and he's been searching the various artists and beats and whatever it might be, and nothing changed, but
2-1.
He still has been successful tonight.
Grounded it over to first, handled by Bergamy. He throws it over to Gomez, covering for the final out of the frame. We've completed 7 from the ballpark at Harbor Yard. 9-1 the score. You're listening to Bluefish Baseball on the Bluefish Broadcast Network. We will be right back.
We believe if you're not choosing a light beer with more taste, you need to man up, not man down. Because up is way better than down. You don't tell someone sad to cheer down. What's down, dog? A steamy pile and you just stepped in it. Your girlfriend's not wearing a push-down bra? It's called gravity, Isaac Nitwit. Can I be down front with you? All this down talk is bringing me down. So don't man down, man up, and choose a light beer with more taste. Triple hops brewed Miller Lite. Taste greatness. Miller Brewing Company, Milwaukee, Wisconsin. Great beer, great responsibility.
Why do we love baseball? Is it the uniforms, the pace of the game, the mascots? Could be. Or could it be that what we really love is that baseball reminds us how we can all come out ahead when we work together, just like a good team? At Prudential Annuities, we understand that when everyone works together, good things can happen. That's why each year we uphold a commitment to helping charitable causes in our community by pitching in financial resources and by enabling Prudential Annuities employees to help others through volunteer work. From conducting mentoring programs and helping homeless shelters to supporting health awareness and food banks, Prudential Annuities is more than a big company in Fairfield County. We're a big part of the community, too. Prudential Annuities, going to bat for the community.
The Prudential Insurance Company of America, Newark, New Jersey, and its affiliates. Prudential Annuities is a business of Prudential Financial, Inc.
Bluefish baseball is on the air. One more time, one more inning. The Bluefish are ahead 9-1. The day is over for Raymar Diaz. The best performance he has provided all year. 7 innings, 6 hits, 2 walks, 1 run, no earned runs, 5 strikeouts, 100 pitches, and 64% of those going for strikes. Could not have written it better for Raymar Diaz. He kept the pitches low in the zone and got ahead in counts, and that is the big difference in today's ball game.
Not to mention just the 2 walks over that 7-inning stretch. Both the Brian Bergamy kind of set me up walks leading off the inning. Don't want to worry about his bat.
This call to the bullpen presented by Prudential Annuities as the fastball turns outside. Prudential Annuities going to bat for our community. Kyle Zaleski gave up a few earned runs the other day, last appearance. And as a result, his ERA is at 4.74. The next offering is inside. 2 balls, no strikes. That ERA is a bit skewed because he has gotten out of plenty of jams for the Bluefish, which have secured victories for the team. There are certain numbers which just don't make that much sense. The 2-0 line, base hit down the right field line as it heads towards the corner. Brian Bergamy has himself a leadoff double as he cruises into second base. He is 1 for 2 on the day to set up Petty Matera.
Zaleski, a strikeout pitcher, 32 Ks in 24-plus innings of work. Kind of let that fastball get away. Too much of the plate it caught. And the veteran hitter, Brian Bergamy, made him pay.
With a 5-pitch inning, it is understandable why Willie Upshaw would make the move to try to get more pitchers some work since it's a 9-1 ball game. Pitches fouled in the air to the left side. Luis Rodriguez hoping to get the baseball. He cannot as it falls into the seats. No balls and 1 strike.
No question about it. The way the starters have been pitching, you never know who's going to be needed in what position coming out of that bullpen. Ideally, in a save situation, you're going to see Rami Lewis and Jorge Julio back up that bullpen 8-9 inning.
No need for them tonight, though. The 0-1, at least to this point, pitches foul to the right side, but playable for Luis Rodriguez, and he makes the catch as he secures the ball with his hand against the glove. 1 away in the 8th. Counts as a PF2. Spring Drew Macias to the dish.
But it's a long season. You never know which pitchers you can rely on in those winning innings, is what I like to call them. 8 and 9, that back end of the game. It's time to finish teams off, close them out, end the game, and that's when it's most critical to have your best performances from the pitchers.
The first offering to Drew Macias twists to the inside corner, 0-1. Macias is 1 for 3. He picked up a single in his last at bat. The next toss on the outside corner. Great setup for Zaleski. First goes inside, then goes to the outside corner at the knees. Macias has no idea where the next pitch is going. 0-2. Zaleski pins the ball against his belt. Pitch. Off-speed pitch on the outside corner. Called strike 3. There have not been too many lefty hitters at the plate, but one of them is Drew Macias, and he just stared at it.
Outfielder, number 19, Stephen Deach.
Just as hitting is something that teams can get on a roll together, pitching is the same way. Diaz was really controlling his pitches. The sliders were working, the curveballs were biting, catching corners of the plate. Zaleski's picking up right where he left off.
The Bluefish with a victory in this game. The 2-out toss is outside, 1 ball and no strikes. Would move to 16-0 when scoring 6 runs or more in a game.
Well, there's the number.
6 runs. Bridgeport scores 6, they win. Unfortunately, though, not every team's going to score as many runs as the way that the York Revolution piled them up in 2010 when they set the Atlantic League record. The 1-0 is outside, 2 balls and no strikes. They scored 10 runs or more 38 times in a season. That was a ridiculous year. Scott Grimes set the Atlantic League record for runs scored that season with 139 in 123 games.
Wow.
You thought Joey Gathright, when he was leading the league in runs scored with 20, that was impressive. Grimes did it over the entire season. The next pitch is on the inside corner, 2-1.
That is a lot of runs scored, Perry. A lot.
Ramon Castro was driving doubles. Ian Bladergrone was a left-handed hitter whose stance looked like Jim Tomei's a little bit. Could hit that low in pitch over that right field wall. The next offering is outside, 3 balls and 1 strike.
A little control issue with Stephen Deach at the dish.
And that year, any one of number 4 players on York could have ultimately won the MVP award based on their offensive productivity. The 3-1, waved that for a strike, 3 balls and 2 strikes. The offensive productivity today coming from Kennard Jones. 5 ribbies, Eddie Rogers with a 2-run shot, and then split RBI for the Bluefish. Pedro Lopez has one of those ribbies, Brock Peterson with the other.
The real difference maker is the 7-8-9. Elliot Ayala, James Simmons, Pedro Lopez, rounding out the order.
3-2, outside ball 4. Runners at first and second for Zaleski as Jake Agassi moves in. You talked about Agassi going 4 for 29 heading into this game. He's now 4 for 32 after an 0 for 3 in his first couple of at-bats.
In the last 11 games, just been on a slide. And that's not to say that Camden's been on a slide. They've really been hitting the ball well. Pitching it well, too. This is really a two-sided sword.
Next one is sent foul down the right field line on a heater. No balls and 1 strike.
Not too long ago, the Bluefish were in first place for a long time. Slowly dipped to second, tied for second, third, tied for third. All of a sudden in 4th place, and Camden moved ahead.
And that was because Camden began to get some starting pitching, and their offense continued to produce even without Felix Pie. But the Riversharks, they are not showing much life on the offensive side. And Kevin Reese is not exactly a starting pitcher in the traditional sense. The 0-1 is sent foul.
And he did his job today. 4 innings of pretty good pitching. He started to struggle in that 4th inning, but was right there with Diaz for a while. But because he's not a starter, doesn't have the arsenal, second time, third time through the order, batters start to pick up on tendencies.
The right-hander waits. Zaleski settles at the belt. 0-2. Just off the corner outside. That has been a consistent call tonight. Anything that's borderline outside corner has been called a ball. Anything borderline inside corner has been called the other way.
I think it's been more of the height, too.
1-2. That one was further off the plate. 2 balls and 2 strikes.
Zaleski wanted that one equally as bad, but again, that was a little bit high. Not to say that in the, say you got to watching the TV and it's the box up there and they're pitch tracking It might have been in the strike zone, height-wise.
This has been the zone for Mills all night. Zaleski wanted it, but he cannot complain too much with the way that his team was able to put up runs and get an effective performance from Diaz. The 2-2 from the right-hander. Glove set, pitch on its way. A high drive out of play. Foul, right side. To the upper deck. The Bluefish will have another game tomorrow against the Riversharks. Bridgeport will send Jonah Bayless to the hill against longtime veteran Brian Corey. Setup just pushed back another day with a six-man rotation. The 2-2 is squibbed, foul, right side.
Zaleski working hard for this last out. Agassi does not want to go down looking again like he did in his last at-bat. He was really frustrated.
2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 men out. Zaleski one more time goes through. Gets the sign. Luis Rodriguez establishing inside the pitch. Inside corner, strike 3. Another drop of the bat. Gazing at the umpire. And another player in disbelief. Agassi down. 2 strikeouts in the frame, 1 hit, no runs. 2 runners left on, end of 7.5. A 9-1 ball game. Bridgeport on top. You're listening to Perry Miles and RJ Garcia on BridgeportBluefish.com.
A sizzling, succulent filet mignon, scrumptious salmon Florentine, savory twin grilled pork chops. Getting hungry? Your table awaits at the Park City Grill, Fairfield County's elegant new dining spot in the beautifully renovated Bridgeport Holiday Inn. Comfortable, warm, and inviting. Park City Grill offers a world-class dining experience at reasonable prices. Come to the Park City Grill, 1070 Main Street in the Bridgeport Holiday Inn. Take I-95 exit 27A to exit 2. Plenty of free, secure parking.
Baseball legend Henry Aaron reflects on his Hall of Fame legacy.
I think that since I played for the public, they need to share what I did in my life as far as baseball. It's the proudest moment of my life to give everything to the Hall of Fame. I often tell people they need to get and see it. There is no other building in the world like the Hall of Fame in baseball.
Celebrate the game. Celebrate the legacy. Connect with Cooperstown at baseballhall.org.
Baseball legend Henry Aaron reflects on his Hall of Fame legacy.
I think that since I played for the public, they need to share what I did in my life as far as baseball. It's the proudest moment of my life to give everything to the Hall of Fame. I often tell people they need to get and see it. There is no other building in the world like the Hall of Fame in baseball.
Celebrate the game. Celebrate the legacy. Connect with Cooperstown at baseballhall.org. Mike Piazza talks about the Baseball Hall of Fame.
It just connects you with the history of the game and the tradition of this game and how important this game is to the fabric of society. It's something I use to bond with my father, and I will always, and I love to sort of teach my kids the history of baseball.
Preserving history, honoring excellence, connecting generations. Connect with Cooperstown at baseballhall.org. Mike Piazza talks about the Baseball Hall of Fame.
It just connects you with the history of the game and the tradition of this game and how important this game is to the fabric of society. It's something I use to bond with my father, and I will always, and I love to sort of teach my kids the history of baseball.
Preserving history, honoring excellence, connecting generations. Connect with Cooperstown at baseballhall.org. Jimmy Rollins talks about...
Bridgeport Bluefish baseball is back. Perry Miles with RJ Garcia in the bottom of inning 8 as the first pitch is on its way from the newest member on the mound. The first one is outside on the corner. No balls and 1 strike. This call to the bullpen presented by Prudential Annuities. Prudential Annuities going to bat for our community. Josh Walter. Next offer, grounded toward short, scooting to his left, and fielding the baseball, Jake Igesty. He throws to first, one away. First batter of the inning was Eddie Rogers. He's now 1 for 4 on the day. After the 6-3, Prentice Redmond moves in.
The beauty about baseball is that there's always something to improve on. The Bluefish are winning right now, but as we've mentioned earlier, Redmond's been in a slump, and for a lot of these batters, they've been in slumps, and taking every at-bat is a new one.
The one-out toss slides away, 1 ball and no strikes.
And trying to be able to do the best that you can with each pitch, each at-bat, trying to put it in play, finding your groove, finding the swing.
The 1-0. Jam shot sent to the first base side, hustling over, and unable to come up with a baseball. It was dropped by Kanazik. He had it in the heel of the glove and did not catch it. We will see how it is scored, whether the degree of difficulty was enough to warrant no play, or if it's being ruled an error.
Nothing so far. That was a tough play. Kanazik had to go to the wall, trying to judge it in and out of the light fixtures too. That's the hardest, when that high fly ball gets above the lights.
And then heads near the crowd, because you have to embrace the wall with a catcher's glove, which is great for handling pitchers, as the next one is sent foul to the right, 1 ball and 2 strikes, but is not necessarily the best in catching pop flies. You could use that with an outfielder's glove. 1 ball, 2 strikes, 1 man out.
It'd be one thing if it was so high the pitcher throws the glove to the catcher, makes a little switch, you know.
Another smack foul from Redmond. 1 ball, 2 strikes.
Almost like watching batting practice, sometimes those line drives that are above whoever they're playing and they just toss their glove up there trying to knock it down.
The 1-2.
Hey, you never know.
Heater upstairs, 2 balls and 2 strikes. No, you do not.
But you might have to make a play on your glove on the way down. Still going to be ruled a hit if it's not attached to the body.
That is true. The 2-2. A high drive deep to left field. Going back as Walker. He's nearing the track and snags at the warning track. That was a little bit better swing from Redmond. He looked like he opened up just a little bit more, and his hands got to the ball quicker, just did not get it to the right part of the bat.
That's okay. Something positive to take out of it. I guarantee you, without that last at-bat right there, he was going to be frustrated. Still probably going to be frustrated with his day at the plate, but that's something that he can take away.
He is 0 for 4. If anyone were to say the Bluefish 3, 4, and 5 hitters were to go a combined 0 for 9 on the day, the first pitch is on the outside corner, no balls and 1 strike. If you were to say go 0 for 9, one might think the Bluefish would have lost because they would not have driven in the runs.
Especially with the way the whole order's been hitting recently.
It's been all middle and nothing on the edges. The 0-1, grounded foul, sharply towards the tarp. No balls, 2 strikes.
Peterson did the same thing that Redmond did in his last at-bat. Ended up getting Kennard Jones home on a sacrifice fly. Kind of got around on it, just a little bit of a jam shot, but with the way he's been hitting it, it nearly reached the warning track.
The 0-2, fastball away, 1 ball, 2 strikes.
Check that was Pedro Lopez that he helped out with that sac fly.
The Bluefish, this is probably going to be the final inning that they hit. The 1-2 smacked foul to the netting, 1 ball and 2 strikes. And they have looked much better. And in large part, it had to do with the starting pitching, because there were a couple of poor innings from Kevin Reese and some very solid innings from Raymar Diaz. starting pitching won this, or at least kept the Bluefish in the game, coupled with the amazing Kennard Jones 5 RBI day. The 1-2 is low, 2-2.
You take out an unearned run off of a very makeable play by Luis Lopez at third base, and there's donuts up there on the scoreboard.
Well, the Bluefish pitchers will be thrilled about this outing anyhow, and I'm sure Willie Upshaw would be as well, with the way that Diaz turned with his back against the wall, the way that he had been pitching. The 2-2 is a high sky into left center field, playable for Drew Macias as he converges from center to make the catch in left center for the final out of the frame. No runs, no hits, no one left on, end of 8. Bridgeport leads 9-1. You're listening to Perry Miles and RJ Garcia on BridgeportBluefish.com.
Have you heard about the clubhouse? Conveniently located in Fairfield, it has an unparalleled team of baseball and softball instructors offering private instruction, camps, team training, rentals, and best of all, the chance to learn from an all-pro team, including Mike Porzio, former MLB pitcher, and the Bluefish's very own Willie Upshaw. Open 7 days a week. Stop in and meet our team, or call us 203-292-8700 and visit us at the web, theclubhousect.com, and get the Major League experience.
Behind everything you're searching for is something you're actually looking for. When you flip through the real yellow pages for a plumber, you're actually looking to reclaim your home from a renegade faucet. It's not just getting directions to a tailor with YP.com. It's looking your best for an interview. And it's more than finding a mechanic with YP.com on your mobile. It's getting your road trip back on track. Whatever it might be, there are more ways to search and more ways to find exactly what you're looking for with the real yellow pages, YP.com, and YP.com on your mobile, only from AT&T. Behind everything you're searching for is something you're actually looking for. When you search with the real yellow pages, you get more than a contractor. You get a whole new curb appeal. It's not just getting directions to a dry cleaner with YP.com. It's rescuing an old favorite from the back of the closet. And it's more than finding a locksmith with YP.com on your mobile. It's getting to sleep in your own bed. Whatever it might be, there are more ways to search and more ways to find exactly what you're looking for with the real yellow pages, YP.com, and YP.com on your mobile, only from AT&T.
A sizzling, succulent filet mignon, scrumptious salmon Florentine, savory twin grill pork chops. Getting hungry? Your table awaits at the Park City Grill, Fairfield County's elegant new dining spot in the beautifully renovated Bridgeport Holiday Inn. Comfortable, warm, and inviting. Park City Grill offers a world-class dining experience at reasonable prices. Come to the Park City Grill, 1070 Main Street in the Bridgeport Holiday Inn. Take I-95 exit 27A to exit 2. Plenty of free, secure parking.
Baseball legend Henry Aaron reflects on his Hall of Fame legacy.
I think that since I played for the public, they need to share what I did in my life as far as baseball. It's the proudest moment of my life to give everything to the Hall of Fame. I often tell people they need to get and see it. There is no other building in the world like the Hall of Fame in baseball.
Celebrate the game. Celebrate the legacy. Connect with Cooperstown at baseballhall.org.
Bridgeport Bluefish baseball is back on the air. Perry Miles with RJ Garcia. It is the top of the 9th inning. Jesse English fires a fastball away. 1 ball and no strikes. This call to the bullpen presented by Prudential Annuities. Prudential Annuities going to bat for our community. Jesse English, 4.95 ERA, 2 wins on the year. And he's pitched in 20 total innings heading into today. The next pitch is outside, 2 balls and no strikes. And his last time out came up with a scoreless set. The 2-0 on its way from English as he sets at the stomach. Drops it down to the belt. The 2-0, fastball way inside to Kanazik.
English, former MLB player, in and out of AAA. With Toronto, or the Washington Nationals, excuse me, has pitched pretty well this season for the Bluefish.
3-0, right down the middle, 3-1. Jesse English has had plenty of successful days for the Fish. The next offering is swung on and lined into center field, playable to the right of center for Simmons, who bends down and makes the play for out number 1. Knazik 1 for 4 on the evening. It's an F8 to spring Chris Walker to the plate. He is 1 for 4 with a single, a fly ball to right, a fly ball to right again. Ground ball to second. Bluefish postgame show is coming up following the conclusion of this ball game. Plenty of positives to talk about for the postgame. A 1-out toss, fastball on the outside corner, no balls and 1 strike.
In the past 5 games, those positives have been pretty limited. Today is a new day for the Bluefish.
The Bridgeport squad has had at least 3 4-game losing streaks this year, and this past one was a 5-gamer. The 0-1 is sent foul down the left field line out of play, no balls and 2 strikes. And this 5-gamer is about to come to an end, assuming that there is not an 8-run rally or a 9-run rally that Camden has in store.
Their outs are running out. 2 left, 1 more strike on Walker, and he'll be back.
Chris Walker takes a poke at the ball and lifts it to shallow right. Prentice Redmond closing close to the infield and makes the catch. 2 away. Bridgeport down to the final out before they win the ball game, and they'll have to retire Lloyd Turner.
Redmond had Walker played pretty well. Left-handed hitter, or the right-handed hitter off of the end of the bat. Really didn't have to move very far. And that brings Lloyd Turner 2 for 4 this evening. One of the few bright spots offensively for the Riversharks.
2-out toss, a fastball in the inside corner. No balls and 1 strike. 2 hits for Lloyd Turner. Brian Burgundy reaches 3 times, including a double. 2 times that Stephen Deach reached his base, and that's really it. That's their positive that they take away from it. The 0-1 check swing went through the zone. No balls and 2 strikes. Lloyd Turner down to his final strike. Possibly Jesse English down to the Bluefish's final strike. 0-2 the count. Glove pinned at the thigh. English gets the signal. He stares down. The 0-2 sent foul. It looked as if Lloyd Turner was beat with a fastball. He was behind it.
Somehow got his hands through the zone, got enough of the ball, staying alive.
Just like the song. Could be. He may not do that much longer in this game.
Yeah, I'm not sure if that staying alive jig is alive right now.
Bluefish have been playing alive tonight. The 0-2 on the outside corner, strike 3. Ball game is over. The Bluefish snap their 5-game losing streak with a convincing 9-1 victory against the Camden Riversharks. On this Monday night, the post-game show comes to you right after this on BridgeportBluefish.com.
Camden 1, the Bluefish want to thank you for coming out.
This summer, the Miller Lite Guards are saving men from making the unmanly choice of drinking light beer with less taste. How? With great tasting Miller Lite, taste points, and thousands of prizes. So man up at tastepoints.com today. No purchase necessary. Open to legal U.S. residents 21 or older. Void in California and where prohibited. Sweepstakes begins 5/1/11 and ends 7/31/11. For details, how to enter, and complete official rules, go to tastepoints.com. Miller Brewing Company, Milwaukee, Wisconsin. Great beer, great responsibility. At Miller Lite, we believe if you're not choosing a light beer with more taste, you need to man up, not man down. Because up is way better than down. You don't tell someone sad that you're down. What's down, dog? A steamy pile and you just stepped in it. Your girlfriend's not wearing a push-down bra? It's called gravity, Isaac Nitwit. Can I be down front with you? All this down talk is bringing me down. So don't man down, man up, and choose a light beer with more taste. Triple hops brewed Miller Lite. Taste greatness. Miller Brewing Company, Milwaukee, Wisconsin. Great beer, great responsibility. At Miller Lite, we believe that sharing a pitcher of our great-tasting draft beer will bring friends together for a good time. And good is way better than bad. No one reminisces about the bad old days. If your guess is as bad as mine, then we're a couple of idiot faces. So far, so bad? Turn that frown upside down, grumpy pants. So why have a bad time when you could have a good time with a pitcher of Miller Lite draft beer? Triple hops brewed Miller Lite. Taste greatness. Miller Brewing Company, Milwaukee, Wisconsin. Great beer, great responsibility. At Miller Lite, we know there's only one thing baseball fans love as much as great Pilsner taste, and that's rooting for the home team. Because home is way better than away. Away is not where the heart is. Bringing away the bacon? Why? Bacon is delicious. Away is where you hang your hat? You should be hung up by your underpanties. So why root for the away team when you can root for the home team? With a great Pilsner taste of Miller Lite. Triple hops brewed Miller Lite. Taste greatness. Miller Brewing Company, Milwaukee, Wisconsin. Great beer, great responsibility.
Shark tooth, screwdriver, golf tee from the golf trip that you never went golfing on, grill fork, tuning fork, fork, drumsticks, a motel key. Let's not talk about the motel key. Needle nose pliers, a spark plug, a domino, a house key. There's lots of things you can use to open the new Miller Lite Punch Top can, but you'll always get the same thing. A smooth pour with less glug. However you punch it, it's Miller time. Miller Brewing Company, Milwaukee, Wisconsin. Great beer, great responsibility. Shark tooth, screwdriver, skeleton key, golf tee from the golf trip that you never went golfing on, grill fork, tuning fork, fork, the lucky fishing lure you snagged Alan with. Sorry, Alan. Drumsticks, chopsticks from the place you met that Dallas-based flight attendant. A motel key. Let's not talk about the motel key. A spark plug, a domino, a house key. How do these things make Miller Lite from a can even better? Find out May 2012. Miller Brewing Company, Milwaukee, Wisconsin. Great beer, great responsibility.
Bridgeport Bluefish baseball returns with the postgame show. Perry Miles here. The Bluefish win by a score of 9-1. The Bridgeport squad was trailing at one point, 1-0, courtesy of an unearned run. A single by Kinesic, single by Turner to set up runners at first and third. And then Marquez Smith reached on an E5 with 2 men out to set the stage for the Bluefish. It was 1-0. Then Bridgeport scored 2 runs. Kennard Jones with a 2-run single. Runners at second and third. Then the explosion came in the fourth. RBI single by Pedro Lopez. 2-run triple to left field by Kennard Jones. And a 2-run shot by Eddie Rogers, his 4th of the year, to make it 7-1 at that point. Bridgeport scored 2 more in the 6th, courtesy of an RBI single from Kennard Jones and a sacrifice fly from Brock Peterson. Final line, the box score: 1 hit for Walker, 2 for Turner, nothing for Smith, 1 for Bergamy, Matero with nothing, Macias with 1 hit, Deach with 1 hit, nothing for Agassi, 1 hit and a run for Kinesic. Overall 1 run, 7 hits, and 1 error. Kennard Jones 3-hit day for the Bluefish, a run and 5 RBI. He is the offensive player of the game. Eddie Rogers a hit, a run, 2 ribbies. Redmond with nothing. Peterson no hits and an RBI. Nothing for Lopez except a run. Luis Lopez scored a run. Rodriguez with a hit. Ayala, Simmons, and Lopez each with multiple hit days. 2 hits aside. Ayala scores a run. Simmons with 3 runs. Lopez 2 runs and an RBI today for the second baseman. 9 runs, 11 hits, 1 error. Bergamy with his 12th double. Louis Rodriguez his 5th. Jones his 2nd triple of the year after finishing with 11 in 2011. Home run is for Rogers his 4th. Jones now has 25 ribbies on the year. Rogers also with 25. He picked up 2. Peterson with his 34th, which remains on top for the Bluefish. Lopez with his 10th. Stolen bases for Simmons, his 2nd. Kanasic, his error is his 4th. And Luis Lopez his 8th. Camden left 10 runners on. Bridgeport with 7. Reese with the loss. He moves to 1-2. 4 innings, 7 hits, 7 runs. All earned 2 walks, 4 strikeouts with a home run allowed. Farnsworth 2 innings, 3 hits, 2 runs, 3 walks, and 3 strikeouts. Mariano Gomez an inning and a hit, 2 strikeouts. Walter with an inning of scoreless relief. Raymar Diaz with his best performance of the year. 7 innings, no earned runs, 1 run total, 6 hits, 2 walks, 5 strikeouts. He is 1-5 on the year. Kyle Zaleski an inning, a hit, a walk, and 2 Ks. Jesse English a hit, or rather an inning pitched, and a strikeout. Strikeouts on the game, 8 for Bridgeport staff, 9 for Camden staff in terms of pitching. Turner with a pair, Bergamy, Macias, Deach each with 1, Agassi 2, Kinesic with 1. Rogers for the Fish with 1, Redmond with the pair, Peterson, Lopez, Rodriguez with 1, Elliott, Ayala with a couple, and Simmons with 1 on the day. Camden 5 walks that they gave up, 3 walks for Bridgeport. Bergamy 2, Deach with 1, Rogers, Redmond each with 1, Lopez with 2, and Pedro Lopez with 1. Time of the game, 2 hours and 56 minutes from the ballpark at Harbor Yard. When we come back on the Bluefish broadcast, we will have the rest of the post-game show here on BridgeportBluefish.com.
Baseball. Is it the uniforms, the pace of the game, the mascots? Could be. Or could it be that what we really love is that baseball reminds us how we can all come out ahead when we work together, just like a good team? At Prudential Annuities, we understand that when everyone works together, good things can happen. That's why each year we uphold a commitment to helping charitable causes in our community by pitching in financial resources and by enabling Prudential Annuities employees to help others through volunteer work. From conducting mentoring programs and helping homeless shelters to supporting health awareness and food banks, Prudential Annuities is more than a big company in Fairfield County. We're a big part of the community too. Prudential Annuities, going to bat for the community.
The Prudential Insurance Company of America, Newark, New Jersey, and its affiliates. Prudential Annuities is a business of Prudential Financial, Inc.
This summer, the Miller Lite Guards are saving men from making the unmanly choice of drinking light beer with less taste. How? With great tasting Miller Lite, taste points, and thousands of prizes. So man up at tastepoints.com today. No purchase necessary. Open to legal U.S. residents 21 or older. Void in California and where prohibited. Sweepstakes begins 5/1/11 and ends 7/31/11. For details, how to enter, and complete official rules, go to tastepoints.com. Miller Brewing Company, Milwaukee, Wisconsin. Great beer, great responsibility. At Miller Lite, we believe if you're not choosing a light beer with more taste, you need to man up, not man down. Because up is way better than down. You don't tell someone sad to cheer down. What's down, dog? A steamy pile and you just stepped in it. Your girlfriend's not wearing a push-down bra? It's called gravity, Isaac Nitwit. Can I be down front with you? All this down talk is bringing me down. So don't man down, man up, and choose a light beer with more taste. Triple hops brewed Miller Lite. Taste greatness. Miller Brewing Company, Milwaukee, Wisconsin. Great beer, great responsibility. At Miller Lite, we believe that sharing a pitcher of our great-tasting draft beer will bring friends together for a good time. And good is way better than bad. No one reminisces about the bad old days. If your guess is as bad as mine, then we're a couple of idiot faces. So far, so bad? Turn that frown upside down, grumpy pants. So why have a bad time when you could have a good time with a pitcher of Miller Lite draft beer? Triple hops brewed Miller Lite. Taste greatness. Miller Brewing Company, Milwaukee, Wisconsin. Great beer, great responsibility. At Miller Lite, we know there's only one thing baseball fans love as much as great Pilsner taste, and that's rooting for the home team. Because home is way better than away. Away is not where the heart is. Bringing away the bacon? Why? Bacon is delicious. Away is where you hang your hat? You should be hung up by your underpanties. So why root for the away team when you can root for the home team? With a great Pilsner taste of Miller Lite. Triple hops brewed Miller Lite. Taste greatness. Miller Brewing Company, Milwaukee, Wisconsin. Great beer, great responsibility.
The post-game show continues right now on BridgeportBluefish.com. Perry Miles here. The final score from the ballpark at Harbor Yard. The Bluefish win by a score of 9-1. Let's take a quick look at the updates from across the Atlantic League, courtesy of PointStreak.com and AtlanticLeague.com. And it appears as if the Long Island Ducks have come back against the Lancaster Barnstormers. The game is tied at 5 in the bottom of the ninth. Southern Maryland leads York 10-3. And that's the final from York. Sugarland leading Somerset 3-1 in the top half of inning number 7. Across the board, the Bluefish are looking to try to gain a game, but may not on the Ducks if Long Island manages to win tonight. As taking a look at the NHL update, the LA Kings lead the New Jersey Devils 4-1 from Staples. The LA Kings came out gangbusters, scoring 4 goals within a short period of time, and they are ahead due to that major penalty. 4-1 in the second period. The Kings 1 period away from winning their first championship in franchise history. In Major League Baseball, the Yankees and the Braves in the bottom of the ninth. 3-0 Yankees on top of Atlanta. In that contest, there was quite a good pitching, but before we go through that, the Miami Marlins take care of the Boston Red Sox 4-1. Ivan Nova, 7 scoreless innings, 5 hits and a walk with 6 strikeouts. And the Yankees seem to be on their way to another victory and tying the Tampa Bay Rays. The Washington Nationals leading the Toronto Blue Jays 6-3 in the bottom of the ninth. And in the Freeway Series, the Angels and Dodgers are scoreless in the top of the first inning from the city of La La Land instead of the city of Angels. It is Anaheim as opposed to Dodgerland. In NCAA baseball, Kent State takes down Oregon 3-2. South Carolina 5 and Oklahoma 1. Arkansas leads Baylor 1-0, heading to the bottom half of the 10th inning. The NBA Finals take place tomorrow night between the Oklahoma City Thunder and the Miami Heat. 9 o'clock start. And in men's tennis, Rafael Nadal takes down Novak Djokovic to match Bjorn Borg for the number of French titles, as and Rod Laver was involved in that as well. Rod Laver was the guy that dominated the French Open as well. 7 French Open titles for Rafael Nadal as he moves on and wins the French Open Championship. I'm sure many people will congratulate him, just the same way that the Bluefish will be congratulated for their victory this evening against the Camden Riversharks. The Bluefish win by a score of 9-1. Thank you for tuning into the Bluefish broadcast. For more information about Bluefish baseball, go to the website, bridgeportbluefish.com, or you can send me an email, perrym86@gmail.com. Follow me on Twitter, just me, P. Miles. Just me, P. Miles. Tomorrow, the Bluefish will play Game 2 of a 3-game set against the Riversharks, and they will be sending right-handed pitcher Jonah Bayless to the hill to try to win their second consecutive game this year. Bayless, 17 games, 1-1, 3.12 ERA against Brian Corey, the right-handed pitcher, 8 starts, 2-4 with a 5.61 earned run average on the season. We will be back on the air tomorrow, 6:45 for a 7:05 first pitch. Kids Eat Free night tomorrow night, presented by Big Y World Class Market. Kids get a hot dog, a soda, or a 12-ounce fountain soda, and some chips to their credit with a proper voucher. The final score, the Bluefish 9 and the Riversharks 1. For Perry Miles, thanks to RJ Garcia for joining us. Have a wonderful night. We will see you 6:45 tomorrow night.